This just in to CNN. NBC News has ousted former RNC chair Ronna McDaniel just days after hiring her as a paid political analyst. CNN senior media reporter Oliver Darcy is joining us right now. Oliver, what more can you tell us?
That's right, Wolf. The McDaniel mess is over. Her ouster from NBC News coming after an unprecedented on-air rebellion from NBC's top anchors over Ronna McDaniel's role in subverting democracy in 2020. I want to read to you, Wolf, a statement that just went out from NBC Universal News Group chair Cesar Conde. In the note sent to staffers, he says, "After listening to the legitimate concerns of many of you, I have decided that Ronna McDaniel will not be an NBC News contributor. No organization, particularly a newsroom, can succeed unless it is cohesive and aligned. Over the last few days, it has become clear that this appointment undermines that goal. I want to personally apologize to our team members who felt let down." This comes after, again, a unprecedented, really, on-air revolt from NBC talent objecting to this appointment. And now it appears that she's no longer going to be an NBC News employee.
Yeah, she's gone. All right, Oliver Darcy, thank you very much.
Let me ask you, surely you have been following the news about your counterpart at the RNC, the former chair, Ronna McDaniel. She has made quite a splash in her post-RNC world and life. She faced a huge backlash for her election-related lies. She is now no longer a paid political analyst for NBC News. I wonder, what does this whole episode tell you about where American politics is right now?
Well, Laura, one of the things that we have to understand is Ronna McDaniel is one of the architects of undermining our democracy and undermining the elections in 2020, which led to the disaster and the chaos that we saw on January 6th at the nation's capital. And so when you have fundamentally, there's been only one party chair, Republican or Democrat, that has ever really been in the midst of making sure that there are fake electors to undermine our elections, and that's Ronna McDaniel. And so why should somebody like that, who has fundamentally done something to undermine American democracy, then get promoted and to have a free space to put out her alternative facts? You shouldn't be rewarded for that. And kudos to the NBC for cleaning that up and making the right decision. And it's not about Democrats or Republicans. It's about making sure that we do what's right for this nation.
Jonah, the other attacks that Trump leveled overnight were at Ronna McDaniel and at NBC News. What is I honestly was wondering last night when as I was thinking about your coming on the show, you and David, what your view is of how things played out with Ronna McDaniel and what Trump had to say about her as well. I mean, the journalists at NBC have obviously said Ronna was someone that attacked them. Trump now, of course, taking more shots.
Yeah, I think NBC handled this about as poorly as it could. I don't think she should have been hired. I think the way she was fired is problematic for them. I think that there are a lot of my friends on the right who want to just do a lot of whataboutism. MSNBC has Jen Psaki and George Stephanopoulos was an aide. And I think to a certain extent, those complaints are valid. The problem, going back to like the John Eastman stuff, is that she was part of an essentially attack on the Constitution and elections, and that should come at a certain price. So they got into this mess by hiring her. They thought it was going to give her access or give her a pro-coup voice or something, and I think that was a huge mistake. But then firing her just made the problems even worse for NBC.
You have to ask when you put people on TV, why are you doing it? Who are they speaking for? Are you hearing what that person thinks? Does that person make phone calls for any reason before they go on TV, for any reason other than to gather information? Are they being directed in some way? The reason we have conversations like this is because you think at some level you're hearing from people what they sincerely, inwardly believe, and will say without regard to any other constituency or pressure upon them. And if you don't have that feeling about somebody, really, why are they there? Just quote the press release.